Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm going to lift a quote from this book right here and see if you agree with it or not. Good soup is one of the prime ingredients of good living, for soup can lift the spirits and stimulate the appetite more than any other one dish. Well, today I'm going to be making for you a Portuguese tomato and rice soup. Let's see if it can lift some spirits. Anyways, let's go. And on today's episode, Portuguese tomato and rice soup, we're going to need a carrot, celery, onion, garlic, rice, stalk, 5 tomatoes peeled, and 30 grams of butter. Okay, so here's all our mise en place. Get all our vegetables chopped up, onion, celery, and carrots, your mirepoix, and a bit of garlic, all nicely shredded. And for a thickening agent, I'm using short grain rice. Notice how it's a little stubbier and round? A little more starch in there, a common ingredient in Portugal. Anyways, we're going to have to blanch and peel our tomatoes. So here's how we go about it. We core out our tomatoes. Very simple procedure, I've shown it before. Then what we do is we plunge our tomatoes into boiling water for about 30 seconds. Then we remove it, rinse it under cold water, and the skins come right off. Notice how easily they peel? So now that we've skinned all our tomatoes, we're going to quarter them. So basically, cut them once on the length, cut them on the cross, then that's done. And afterwards, it's just a matter of squeezing out all the seeds and jelly in the middle and putting our tomato flesh in a separate bowl. Pretty straightforward. So I quarter it like this, squeeze out the center, and then we have all our tomato flesh ready to go for our soup. Okay, so all our ingredients are ready to go, and here's how we cook the soup. First, we take our butter and we put it into a pan on medium heat. Then, what we do is as soon as the butter starts to foam, we lower the heat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our mirepoix and our garlic all together, just like this. We're going to cook it out for 4 minutes on low heat. Afterwards, what we wind up doing is we add our tomato and our rice, and we continue to cook it on a low temperature for 30 more minutes. Now I'm going to stir this around to make sure there's no scorching, and before we start the clock on our 30 minutes, we're going to add some stock to it. Not very much. Tomatoes are juicy, so we're going to add 250 mils of stock, either chicken or vegetable, and then we're going to cook it out for half an hour. Look at how all those lovely vegetables are starting to come together. It bubbles. And about 25 minutes in, season it up with a bit of salt. Stir it some more to make sure the salt is properly incorporated, and then we're going to get ready for finishing. So now, the finishing. I'm using an immersion blender, but you can use a regular blender or a food mill. The main thing is here you want to make sure the soup is smooth. So pulse it at an angle, all the soup gets nice and smooth. The main thing is it's going to be a bit of a thicker vegetable soup here. Looks something like this. Now for the garnish. I'm going to make some croutons. So I have some bread lying around and a little cookie cutter for shapes, but you can use knives or scissors. Just make some shapes. Then you're going to take 15 grams of butter, put it in a pan on medium heat, and make sure that butter foams up. Looks something like this. But swirl it around to make sure you get it all melted. And then you add your bread shapes to the butter. Basically, you fry it on both sides, let it cool off, put it on your soup. Pretty straightforward. So the croutons are done, and now I'm going to chop up some parsley and basil. Found some in the garden, chop it up relatively finely, but not super fine. And here's how you finish the bowl. You take your crouton, you put it right in the middle of your soup, sprinkle some herbs over it, and you serve it. What could be easier? Just like this. 1, put your crouton, sprinkle your herbs just like this right over the top, and then it's a matter of getting a spoon and enjoying your soup. So enjoy your seasonal produce. Here's a lovely thickened soup for you. Portuguese tomato and rice soup. Cheers, everybody.